Come take a walk with me to the sugar bush. It's a long walk. I feel like I've walked like 3 miles today because I've been walking back and forth to the sugar bush. Now we have 2 separate bushes, but they're on the same stretch of land. They're in 2 totally different directions once we leave the driveway. Got some work to do over here, and it's a very wet and slippery day out right now. Gotta actually cross the road when we get out here. Doesn't look like anybody's coming. That's a tree that I tap right there. You can see all the tracks that I have walked over this way a lot. This week is supposed to be just right for maple syrup, so we'll be doing a boil here soon, possibly on Thursday, so we can get some blocks to make an evaporator. Gotta cross the road again as soon as I get up to here. A little ways longer. It's getting really bright out. This morning when I started it was very overcast. Now this road is a road that comes off from our main road that we live on. I just had the scariest thing happen to me. I was walking this road and the town plow came along. He started waving and he swerved out just a little ways and back into almost into the ditch. As I was coming back down out of the woods, he almost hit me when he came through, and they're winging back the snowbanks, pushing him back into the ditch. And he almost swerved into me when I was walking that way, right through there. We got quite a bit of snow last night, about 5 to 6 inches, and a lot of rain and snow and ice. Getting closer all the time. You can see the first few cans. I don't know if you can see that or not coming up. Gets very shaky. Can't even see it. There's the first can right there. Sorry about the sounds of the camera. I knew the town plow, so it was no big deal. He's supposed to have swerved in and made me a trail into here. It's really deep snow. But there's the first cans on this side. We're going to tap all the way up there to that pole. A little ways past that pole, the second pole. Going to tap some trees up that way. I got some extra cans over here because I got to get out here and tap some more trees. It's really deep snow. There's some cans coming up. It's really wet and it's dripping. All the snow from last night was wet and heavy, so don't take long for it to melt. And this bright sunshine. This sunshine is going to be really good for maple syrup today. Excuse me. See that can right there on the ground needs a hook. That's what I came over for. I'll show you one other part of this stretch of land, this sugar bush here. This is on our own property. I don't know if you guys want to see me take out a spile to put a hook on the thing, but I'll try to show you anyway. I gotta change hands. These were spiles I got off from eBay. They're a little old and crusty, but they'll do the trick for now, I guess. You're not really supposed to remove these spiles when you put them in the tree. It infects the tree with bad bacteria, which means the hole will seal up quicker. Hear that noise on the metal one? That's what we're listening for. Now I can hang the bucket on the hook. Last year we got a really good deal on some hooks when we were out. That tree's done, but when we were out working on looking at spiles at our local hardware store, he gave us a good deal. Oh, that snow's deep. On some hooks. Somebody had bought all the spiles and left the hooks. So it was quite a good thing for us because we had just had some given to us that didn't have hooks. We're heading to the next stretch of land. The snow's getting really deep. But you can see I walked through here with snowshoes. I just never got a chance to put them on today. Right this minute, actually. Look at that pine. It's covered in snow. Wouldn't want to be underneath that one. That lets that snow loose. I got another couple of spiles that I get to take and put hooks on. Last night we forgot our bucket of hooks when we put the spiles in, and it was cold last night, so we just put them in and left hoping that we could get back to them. Sorry if I'm out of breath, it's just really deep snow. I want to put a thank you out to B&O Outdoors. He really helped my channel out and we're getting off to 100 subscribers. That's gonna help a lot. Thanks, buddy. Retapping the tree. I got another spile up there that we left the hook off. Putting it in the hole one-handedly can be kind of hard. When doing this, you also have to be cautious of not splitting the bark on the tree. When you do that, it kind of gets... it starts leaking sap around the spiles. There's our hole right there. That's Sounds like the neighbor's got the snowblower going. Oh, that's cold. The snow's going right down my neck. There's a few trees through here that's got to be tapped. We just ran out of spiles last night. We got more that I got to wash out from last year, and some more of the ones that I got on eBay last year. That tree is trying to steal my hat. The snow down my neck is really cold. Snow and drips of water. Snowed enough that last night's tracks are all covered in, especially through here. There's another group of maple that need to be tapped. Dad and I are talking about putting these into sap lines, although we don't have any more main line. I got a video coming up soon. As soon as Dad gets out of work, I will be putting a sap line up on the Harlan piece. We've been working on it for a few days now, and it's starting to get there. I'll show you that when we get to that side of the sugar bush. That's all the way over there. That row of trees that way. The camera makes it look closer than it actually is. And the funny thing is, I gotta get out into the other part of the sugar bush onto the road. This part of the sugar bush is the part you've seen already. And that's all the trees that we've tapped here so far. It's quite a distance from tree to tree to tree. I carry 5-gallon buckets, 2 5-gallon buckets worth of sap, and along with last year, Dad had a bucket in his hand to take from tree to sugar bush to sugar bush. See all the spiles up through there. There's gonna be a lot more as soon as I get my buckets washed and containers cleaned. I'll be taking and letting the birds out here shortly. Right now it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I don't have school today. It's a teacher workshop for my school. I'm gonna be taking and doing a lot of maple syrup stuff, as well as trying to catch up some behind work when I get done filming today. I got also to clean out my rabbit pen and all the chicken barns. So I got my work cut out for me. My father's busy with work and everything, so he'll be tired when he gets home. Sorry guys, I got a drip of water on the LCD screen. It is practically raining in the sugar bush right now. Those trees right there are going to be tapped, as well as several down through there. Another drip of water. We also make birch syrup, and these trees right here are birch trees. We'll be tapping those, and I'll show you how to make that. We might not be able to boil it down, but I'll show you how to. The premises of it is basically the same as making maple syrup, although birch syrup is 100 to 140 gallons to 1 gallon of birch syrup. This is quite a trek. I got hooks in my pocket that are sticking me, and a hammer that is weighing down my coat. But I wouldn't have it any other way. This is the life to live. There's a few other birches down through there. We tap all the way back to our neighbors. There's a few maple there that we tap. There's a couple. Those are all gonna be put into one 5-gallon bucket. Because when this season really kicks up, which it's going to, it's gonna run really hard back in the deep snow. So I'm kind of chipping all this wood that is dead through here is going to be used for a maple syrup evaporator, as well as for some projects my father has. There's a cedar tree. Looks like it's been scraped on by something. Not a deer, because that is definitely not a deer scrape. There's a lot more maple that are going to be put into buckets. Along with those, they'll probably be put into the same bucket as well. Let's get over the snowbank. Wait for the cars to go by and get out into the road. Got snow filling my boots now. See, they make a shelf, so the next snow coming through, which we got a storm coming up shortly, it's not supposed to be too big, and it's just going to be rain and a little bit of slop, but they make a shelf for the next snow to come through, and when they plow, it pushes into that shelf, and it just makes like a hay bale. They keep pushing, 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 and those snowbanks can be pretty tough to break into. When you step on them, they can hold you, but on the backside, it's nothing but soft snow. There's a lot of water that's very deep. Taking you to the next sugar bush now. This is what we do every morning and every night, and I walk this at least twice more during the afternoon. I'll be taking you guys along for that trek shortly. This is the exact path that we take right here. We might be tapping a tree there shortly. It's really melting out. That's a tree there that we'll be tapping. Look at this. Deep, wet snow and slush. You guys might be thinking, why don't I shovel into the trail? But because the curbing or the banks are so tough, I can't even break into them with a shovel. They get really hard. This year I'm hoping to get enough maple syrup to put beside the road and do the honor system and sell it. We got a lot of people that follow our farm and buy eggs off from us, and a lot of people wanted maple syrup last year, so if it can help fund the sugaring operation, I need a sugar shack here shortly. That will help out a ton. a long, long walk from sugar bush to sugar bush. This is what I call the Harlan piece over here. Sorry about the engine noise. The neighbor is snow blowing his driveway. There's a lot of dead willow and everything here that will make a lot of good firewood. We burn a lot of junk wood when we make maple syrup because it cleans up the yard and it also helps other people out when we take the trees off their land. That's another tree right there that I'll be tapping here shortly. I gotta shovel into those. I'll be shoveling into that tree and that tree there. Our neighbor taps this big tree coming up here, right there. He only does a small operation. Okay, there's a car coming. One thing about a small town, they give you a lot of leeway. When you walk the road, they let you walk the road and not push you off into the snowbank. This town only has about 1,000 people, give or take, maybe 2. There's our other sugar bush. It's basically on the other side of our property. I'll give you guys a sneak peek of what's coming up with the tubing. It's a long walk up this driveway as well. This is our neighbor's driveway. I'm trying to stay away from anything of his. That piece of land there we own, but part of the trees are his on the other side of this rock wall that's underneath the snowbank. Some animal walked the line, but I don't know if you can see that blue tubing. I'll zoom in for you guys a little bit. There's another birch that we tap. There's quite a few birches up through here. Sorry if I'm out of breath. I know I apologize about that quite a bit. Oh, my battery is dying. Guess it's because of the cold. But that's a tree right there. The end tree, but then we got a big birch up there and a few others. I'm gonna have to say so long for now. I hope you guys keep on maple syrup. See you later.